responds when... That's odd, because when I actually ended the stream last, I couldn't actually deactivate unless unless OBS was focused. But it still works when I'm in-game, and OBS is a focus. But yeah, hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV with Dblightio Otaku. Yeah, unfortunately Tuesday didn't happen because I thought I could get everything. Thought I could just get everything that I needed to do done before I had to go out to the appointment to actually get this leg checked and re-bandaged or re-dressed. And unfortunately, I slept in a lot. So that just didn't happen. But anywho. Actually, no, I need to make a stop off at the... Well, one thing I need to do is actually remember what eye level the new panda gear is. Because I know crafted is 610 at base. Oh, I can't check because I haven't done Pandemonium yet. But I can check this because I know that the gear for Abyssos is between crafted and the current Tombstone gear. And yeah, finally the chatbot decides to come into play. Armor. Or is it? Yeah, because that's 590. I'm not sure if it's... But anywho, yeah, we need to actually take a stop off at the plaza to only selling one item. Right, let's have a look at the event report. Picaroon Shrouds the Maiming. Right, let's have a look at the sale history. And... yeah, all of that materia... I think most or near all of that materia sold. Right, thank you very much. And since the other retainer didn't have anything in their inventory... Right, let's head over to the Megaduta. Oh yeah, we have two here because we haven't done the tank and the melee. So let's head over to the Megaduta. In search of Ashdire. Just a moment ago, I received word from the Ironworks. They have completed their task and are on their way with the reinforced warding scales. Similarly, our alchemists have also succeeded in creating an artificial Atomos. All is in readiness for our journey into the void. I've instructed our comrades to gather at the Great Works. Let us head there at once. Alright, let's just go back to the yeah, 'cause I think it's 2:15 to get to the Great Works when you're actually in Ratatan. Alright, let's hire a porter, and yeah, it's only 120 gil. Which is actually more if I just walked out and teleported, because it's that is definitely not showers. Alright. There you are. I sent you the few fruits of the alchemist flavor, the artificial atom mod. Right, I'm actually going to turn off auto text advancing because though we've yet to put it to the proof, its ether is practically identical to that of the original. A truly remarkable feat in so short a time. Oh, the Arachnids have outdone themselves yet again. Oh, wonder that they are the pride of Ratatan. But express my gratitude to Nidana, but it appears she isn't here. She rushed off after bringing the Atomos to attend to her pressing task, but said that she would return ere we set forth. It should be shortly after our friends from the Ironworks arrive with the warding scales. Did someone say warding scales? Because it just so happens we have them. Thank you. It's good to see you all again. But for the President himself to attend, keen to bear witness to our little experiment, are you? You know I am. I was there at the Crystal Tower, lest you forget. I wouldn't miss this for the world. You don't mind if we come along and see you off, I hope. It's thanks to D3 that we could finish the work so quickly. It was my painstakingly collected data that made the reinforcement possible. The scales will last a good 10 years in the void with nary a hint of degradation. Yep, Nero and his ego. As the ones who did the actual reinforcing, we guarantee the quality as well. They'll keep you safe. Right here are the scales. Search for my sister without fear of corruption. I know not how to repay you. Don't mention it. Midgard Seven came to our rescue in the rift. It's the least he could do to help his children. And yet, you only get that scene. See it only actually mentions that if you have completed the Omega quest line. Well, my friend, the only regret is that I won't be able to accompany you on this latest grand adventure. Wait. Nidhana, it doesn't matter. Before your departure, Excellency, there is something we wish to present to you. Will you please come with me? You will not delay us without good cause. Very well. Give me my friends, I require a moment. Certainly taking his time. What sort of grand present could take so long to receive? The kind that'll help him in the void, I presume. When that gods has taken place, you'll need all the help you can get. But you of all people ought to know that, eh? And just in time for the rain to stop.
My apologies for keeping you waiting.
Yep.
Vritra, I presume.
Indeed, this vessel now serves as a host for my eye.
Yeah, they gave him a bigger body.
I was aware that the alchemists were busy preparing something, but this...
We couldn't well send you on such a perilous mission unprepared, Your Excellency. We spared no effort in crafting the body, and I dare say you'll find it adept at wielding weapons and magics both. 'Twas our intent to present it to you sooner, but we could not bring ourselves to do so, knowing we could yet improve it further. Pray forgive us.
There is naught to forgive. I am grateful for this fine vessel, and shall put it to good use. Again, I ask that you watch over Radzatan in my absence. The dangers we go to face are great and many, and I fear I will be unable to give matters here due attention. And in opening the Void Gate, there is ever risk that Voidsent will find their way into our world.
Rest assured, we are more than prepared. Our soldiers have been training under Master Estinian. On my honor, we will not suffer a single fiend to pass. So, think only of your mission, Rashan. Ah, but seeing as this is a different body, perhaps we should use a different name.
Nay, Vashan shall suffice. Though I may have thus grown up, I am as ever a little brother to you all.
As you say, as you say. Go then, Vashan. And best of luck.
I have something for you as well. While you were gone, Urianger paid us a visit. As you may recall, he joined us on our foray into Alzadal's legacy, in part to conduct research for the Loporrits. Research they were delighted to receive, and which has already inspired them to consider new ways to improve their own treasure vault. As a token of their gratitude, Livingway entrusted a familiar relic to Urianger. Aye, the crystal, which showed the way to Meteon. The Loporrits no longer have need of it, and thus saw fit to return it to us. Harboring the power of light, it could well aid us in our mission in the Void. And who better to bear Heidelin's gift than her chosen champion?
If there is nothing left to discuss, then let us depart. Our boat awaits us in Akyali.
Right, do we auto teleport? Do we actually auto move to Akyali? Yes, we do. Alright. Set up and your fellows have already departed for the vault. Are you ready to set forth? Alright.
I shall now lift the seal.
No. I kept on forgetting I'd actually turned off auto.
In the name of Alzadal III, I cast open this door unto the void!
Go, absorb the Void Gate. It worked. We should have no trouble passing through a gate of that size.
What can we expect to find after stepping through?
On my previous foray, I emerged in a castle swarming with void scent. I was hopelessly outnumbered and forced to turn back. But together, I am confident we can hold our own. Upon our arrival, let us deal with any hostile entities and secure the area. The command of our mission, I leave in your capable hands. In the event of battle, I shall adapt my tactics to complement your own.
Should we require healing, I can provide it. 'Twould be a welcome change of pace from my recent havoc wreaking.
Take heart, my friends, and have faith. We will brave this broken world and rescue my sister Ajdaya.
The Fell Court of Troya, now accessible. Right. Let's get out Kirby and well, this is actually going to be the first time I've hang on, I didn't think that Alzal's Legacy was originally level sync. Oh, it's level sync to 600. Yeah, the Fell Court of Troya is average item level 575. And this is the first time I'm actually going to be doing this with other people. It's the first two times I did this, I did it with these three. Because what happens is, because the gear that Fashan has, he actually acts as tank. Well, he actually acts as two tanks. He actually acts as a tank and a floor tank. Because if you go in as a tank class, he changes to Dragoon or Lancer, because he somehow doesn't have a job stone. And now we have to wait for well, either people queuing in Expert or actually queuing for the Fell Court of Troya. Because Expert actually now requires, well, they've actually split everything down, because you have Duty Roulette 90 and Expert. So I think Expert only has Alzadal's Legacy and the Fell Court of Troya. And if we don't actually get anyone, I'm gonna have to actually do this as a support group. No, it's in party. Eastern Ida. Elpis. Dark Divinity. Oh, there we go. Right. I can actually, Alright, let's start the party. Oh, no, 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 you are not sitting all over the floor on me. I'm actually gonna see. Action cannot be assigned to a hotbar. How in effect do you assign it to a hotbar? Right. I don't really see the point of wasting. These rats have wandered into my castle. keep on forgetting that the recast time on and I still get damaged even though I'd walked out of that. Right, let's just pick up you and right, so this gear should actually be better than what I'm currently equipped with, which is just base. Oh yeah, we are loading. We are actually loading up to the next area. So we're only wearing classical, which is 580, and the Troyan gear is 595. Alright. Alright. So the good thing is all of the abilities you get, all the abilities from the bracelet of aiming. Actually, I'm gonna take that. I don't think I've. Right. Let's just hope he holds this block here. And no. So now I've got 20 seconds to actually cast off this second. Right. Right, I'm just gonna use my normal AoE attack. Alright, and fending, don't need that, so get these two attacks off. Right, shield up. Right, we're at 11%, so I'm actually going to do Bahamut. Alright, I'll actually take that 'cause it's going to be better than what I've already got on. Right, let's update the set. And we're running again. Right. Oh, I forgot that I had a ring of casting. I was using the single target attack that blocks the AoE. Right, let's do you and let's break out here, I did roll need on that. Alright. Oh!
So the gate did open again and delivered the most mouth-watering morsels.
Yeah, and you're dead.
I am Scarmilione, Archfiend of Earth and first of Golbez's Circle of Fall. Such pleasure I will take in delivering you unto your graves.
There we go.
Your ether is mine! Breathe deep of your death!
That should really have put a shield up. Oh! Yeah. You need to actually have your back to a wall.
My blade thirsts for blood.
Oh crap, yep, this is
Protect me, my minions! I give you a taste of true despair! Stubborn mortals! Come, fill your lungs.
right, back to the wall. Shield. armor is actually on cooldown. Right, I'm gonna quickly pull ass over here. And done. Ugh. Right, I'm guessing they're actually waiting for the... Right, drawing Cloak of Healing. Oh, I'll just give that to the tank. Since the healer already left. Ugh.
This Scarmalione, he knew the gate had opened.
No he didn't. Beatrice knew the gate had opened.
And not for the first time. He and his brethren must keep watch over the portal.
As we do ours, but to unflinchingly consume a fellow Voidsent. Like men, perhaps they form factions and fight amongst themselves.
The question is, what will the minions do?
Yes, what will the minions do?
Your mistress is no more, and the one who consumed her we slew in turn. Do you still mean to try us?
I expect some Voidsent are more intelligent than others. Perhaps these ones simply do not understand our words.
Even beasts ought to understand strength.
There is much we do not know about Voidsent. If we are to survive their world, it would be wise to learn their ways.
Alright. Proceed with caution and pick up what we can.
Sage advice, my friend. 'Tis reassuring to have one so experienced with us. I am here, sister. Finally here. And I will find you. I swear it.
Alright. And here we are. Welcome to the Void. And now we're actually done with that. Did we actually get any more casting gear? Yeah, the only problem is I can't actually swap over to the any gear that actually, or any gear that actually we got through that, because to do so I would actually have to teleport out and then come back in, because aiming. Oh, that's right. Yeah, so I can equip these. I can't equip that. That would probably work more as glam. Right, well, actually, oh, hang on. Did I actually remember to... no, I actually didn't. Okay, so that's part one done. So the basic operation for now. Ere we set our sights out to play, let's see what there is to learn here. From this point onwards, you will not encounter Aetherites for a while. Should you leave Troya Castle, you may return here via Weaver's Warding. Shadowed Remnants. So what I might try to do is try to get and finish the trial. Since there's die she remotely near, but there is nothing. Might you not call to her? Let her know that you have come. Alas, this vessel is not capable of calling across vast distances. For that I require my true form. And even if it were possible, a dragon's call is born upon ether. It is liable to draw more void sent to us. I see. In any case, there is little exploration to be done while we are confined to this isolated isle. I propose we begin by learning what we can from the castle's occupants. Understanding of their ways may prove useful to our cause. Oh well, let's hope a few of them are capable of speech. Let's all remain vigilant while we go about our inquiries. We reconvene afterwards. Alright. Feral voice in. The creature snarls and glares at you. It is unlikely that you will learn anything from it. Watchful voice, son. What enticing evil you have? Give me some! Give me some! Oh, if only I were stronger, I'd be able to eat you. Fine, fine. If something... Find something else to eat. While able to communicate, this one seems to think only of feeding. Better to take your inquiries elsewhere. Full forlorn void scent. The mistress's eyes are beautiful, so blind to bask in her gaze is bliss, but now she's gone, never again will I feel her gaze. No, mistress, no orders, what am I to do now? What am I to do now? The creature mutters endlessly to itself, not sparing you so much as a glance. I serve, I obey, please don't eat me! Dragon? What's that? Does it taste good? I don't know anything about it. I don't know about anything. But the one we caught recently, they seem to know lots. We threw them in the dungeon, but the clever ones are tasty. They might have been eaten already. You've learned all you can from this voice scent. If you look in the dungeon, you may be able to find a clever one. It's mentioned. Actually, one thing I want to do is I actually want to figure out how you actually do. Yeah, you get Mountain Busted, Crimson Scythe, Slipstream, Garuda's Favor. It says this action cannot be assigned to a hotbar. Is there an ability I haven't actually got on here that... Right, yeah, so we have Ruin 4. Wait, oh, there it is. Astral Flow. Oh, that's right. So, Dreadworm Trance is technically... was originally this. It then gets upgraded to Summon Bahamut. Yeah, so... Yeah, because that... Yeah, okay, so... I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to alter my hotbar settings. So I'm actually going to put the Carbuncle Summon over there and have Ruin 4 here. Actually put you there and you... Actually, you know what? I'm going to swap them over. Since Searing Light has less of a cooldown. Right. I am nothing to share. While those I approached had no will to fight, neither were they capable of holding a conversation worth the name. My experience was much the same. Lower rung voice and tend to have lower intelligence, 'twould seem. A pity Scarmilione is dead. It was talkative at least. That isn't true. What of you? Well, I heard of a clever one they threw in the dungeon. A clever voice sent in the dungeon. That would be the area in which we emerged. Indeed. Let us take ourselves back there and find this voice, and preferably before its fellows make a meal of it. To the dungeon then. And yeah, because there is no way to teleport around the to actually teleport around Troya Castle. To actually get back to the dungeon, we have to walk all the way through the keep and all the way through the dungeon area in order to get to our destination. It is Seat of the Foremost. Okay. Alright, let's see what this lot have to say, Vashan. Could this be the clever voice then? Estinian, you're not looking in the right direction. I mislike the feel of this, stay on your guard. There appears to be someone within. Oh, no shit, Sherlock. Oh, and there's a familiar face.
You are the friend.
You're the voice sent bound to Xenos.
I see it now. the bottomless darkness, the insatiable hunger. The aura was present when we faced him in Garlemald.
How did it come to be here?
When Xenos died, its connection to the source was severed. It was forced to return to the void.
Xenos. Yes, that was his name. And you are the friend, are you not?
Is that Heidelin's crystal?
But how? The light just now, of course. And thus I am returned.
What do you mean, returned? Who are you?
I was once bound to the man named Xenos. His avatar, until you killed him.
Yep, so that is positive confirmation. Xenos is brown bread.
Avatar, as in the void-sent servants of Reapers. In the name of his hunt, Xenos took up that traditional Garlean art. And through it, he forged a covenant with a being of the void to lend him strength.
Covenant? A curse, more like. He stole my power. There was no equity in the arrangement.
I just wonder what happens if you actually do this quest as a Reaper. How she actually
My very
responds.
essence was altered, twisted into a tool to serve his desires.
Your previous appearance. This is your true form, then?
Perhaps, perhaps not. What does it matter?
Indeed, it doesn't. Regardless of your form, you are a void sent by nature. So answer me this. Are you our enemy too?
In this world, only a fool would attempt to devour a stronger being. And though it was as an avatar, I lost to you once, I have no desire to lose again.
Good enough for me.
Now, you will answer me a question. Xenos called you friend. That's what you are? A friend?
Although Xenos may have said I wasn't his friend, there's all in this little doodle noodle.
So, you're not a friend. Then... what is it? What is a friend?
unfortunately, this is all starting to come apart at the seams. Oh, leg. As much as one might expect the unexpected, I doubt any of us could have foreseen this turn of events. She seems different from other voids, at least those we've met, and the change we witnessed. I suspect it is due to your crystal purging the excess darkness in her. Even so, she still harbours a great deal of darkness. I'm keen to hear what she can tell us about herself and about her world. Do not want piety. Let's take the Psychon cookie. Alright, where everything begins. So I doubt you came to the dungeon by pure chance. What is it that you're after? We are looking for a voice sent with whom we can converse, in the course of which we learned of you. Your visitors as well, and know little and less about its workings and ways. We'd be grateful if you could tell us about yourself. So it's information you seek. What do you offer for it? I beg your pardon. Void sense are not given unless we stand to gain. If you desire something, you pay the price. That is the sole rule in this world. You call the void. That makes sense. Pray forgive our ignorance. But what would be an acceptable payment? I suspect that such coin as we carry has no value here. That's not all of it, mind you. I still have need of my life. Alright. And now we have to head back up to Croy Keep. Well, at least the castle interior. Oh. Oh my freaking leg.
This is where I belong. My home. This endless darkness you call the void. There was once light here, and it shone its warmth upon creation. The lands were green and the seas were blue. Life flourished. Before the war, the Contra Memoria.
It must have been a terrible war indeed.
It shattered the balance, causing darkness to engulf the world. All life was transformed into monstrosities, void sent. We are the natural order now.
As light begat sin eaters, darkness begat void sent.
The sun was driven from the sky as fleeting day yielded to endless night. In time, even land and sea lost their distinction. And though the spark of reason had died in us, driven by memory's shadow, we formed factions and carved out domains. This castle, for instance. Its erstwhile lord must have abided in such a place once upon a time.
If I may, the darkness in you is too much for any man to harbor. To my eyes, you are indeed a void sent. Yet your knowledge of the past and your demeanor mark you apart from your brethren. You are different. That much is plain. But in what way, I am unsure.
As you say, I am void sent, but only in part. The darkness touched my mother when the war had only just begun, when I was still in the womb. As a child, I looked like any other, but darkness coursed through me, and I ceased to age when I'd become a woman grown. But that was then. And now, I may as well be one in full. I prey on the weak and serve the strong. I live to survive. Nothing more.
Forgive me. 'Twas not my intent to pry. I realize, too, that I have neglected to ask your name.
As we say mortal, you may call me void sent.
That is liable to cause confusion. If you are not averse, we would address you by your true name.
And call me what you will. I care not.
How about 0?
Meaning nothing. A name as fitting as any.
No, not nothing, but rather a beginning. For it remains to be seen what you will become to us.
As I said, I care not. 0 then. Partnership? Are you saying you wish to strike a bargain?
Well, Zero, while there is no end to the questions we could ask, it is only fair that we tell you our purpose in coming here. We are searching for a dragon. One who came to your world long ago.
A dragon?
Yes. Ajdaya is her name, and she is my sister. If you have any knowledge of her, I beg you share it with us. Did you say something?
No?
I thought I heard a voice as well. The keening of void scent, perhaps.
Bashan. Let's say we are rather exposed here. Perhaps we should continue the conversation within the castle. The friend room is defensible given its few points of ingress. Let us head back there. Moving wasn't part of the bargain. I'll comply, but I expect my payment promptly. You'll have it as soon as we've arrived. Key to Troya Keep. Loaded. gonna have to go back and find out who. Because I actually saw someone up at Megaduta. I actually did see a few people going between the Megaduta and the Great Work. Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. I can actually use mounts here. Yep. When proceeding, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. In addition, you will be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Right, it says the item level is 620.
This place is as good as any. Let me have the ether now.
Very well.
Yes.
That I should miss my mark.
That fiend again? But we struck it down, watched it die.
Fools. Death doesn't exist in this world. And I am free to return whensoever I please.
Death doesn't exist. Of course, in the first, the power of light, of passivity, prevents life from emerging in the empty. But in the 13th, the power of darkness, of activity, prevents life from finding rest, even should soul be separated from flesh.
So unless one's essence is absorbed by another, it is possible to return again and again.
Your ether. It is reminiscent of that creature's. Ah, my mouth waters at the memory.
What?
I must devour you too. Yes, I must. Ye drifting souls, by my power be reborn!
If it's another death they want, I say we give it to them.
If you could lend us a hand, we'd be much obliged.
That you would. But you already owe me a debt, and until you make good on it, I won't lift a finger. We'll speak after you've won. But know that if you lose, I'll help myself to your ether.
That a bothersome duty should delay deliver to me this lavish feast. Come, struggle with all your might. It will make you that much richer and tastier.
Okay,
Every soul in this domain serves me now.
right.
Come, feast upon their flesh.
The castle answers his call.
Right. Let's just do.
We do well to break up this feast quickly.
Then let's see these guests on their way.
Behold the power of the Archfiend of Earth!
He hastens their regeneration.
We are deathless! You cannot defeat that which cannot die!
The jump.
Struggle and slaughter all!
This bodes ill.
Okay.
Our foe has too great an advantage. We need to drag him out of this damnable feast. Quickly, stand together!
And you.
There's no end in sight. A retreat may be in order.
When will you learn? No matter what you do, you cannot hope to win.
You never know until you try, and I'm always happy to experiment.
Zero! Is there no way to stop them from coming back?
There is, but I have no reason to share it with you.
One moment.
You know, Zero, you do owe us for one thing. Your name. You'll have your promised ether, but we are owed compensation for your name.
A name for which I did not ask. But that I nevertheless did accept.
Been crystallized.
Well now, that's quite the trick.
Satisfied?
Completely.
Come, my friends. With Zero's aid, we can defeat him.
What is this? What have you done?
Now that I think on it, you owe me a debt as well. You may have missed your mark, but I won't miss mine. However incurred, a debt is a debt. I will repay it here and now.
She can turn voidsent into crystal.
What is this power? You assemble before my truth strength!
Attend to the minions first. Be gone! That's far enough!
Trickery will not fail.
Reinforcements!
This will hurt.
help us!
Another debt to repay.
I must deal with you first. I'll kill you all myself!
Finally getting serious, huh? Very well. Let us return the favor. Everything you've got!
There we go. Right, I'm actually gonna re-enable technical to advance. I'm going to quickly go and refill my drink.
I will return again and again! What? My flesh? Why won't it heal? What is the meaning of this? To seal ether in crystal. Memoria. But how? How can you have this power? Death has no place in this world. We are beyond it. And yet... Ah, Lord Golbez, you have sent me to my doom. Curse you and your wretched flattery, and this abominable fate.
You are welcome, seekers of might. I, Golbez, have called you hither. I, who would see us triumph in the coming crusade. That I may entrust you with command of our armies.
Yes, but what of the crew's gift? In exchange for our loyalty, we are to feast on the finest ether.
And so you shall, for if you are to serve me, you must be strong.
Then honor the pact and pray we are not disappointed.
Very well. Behold.
The fiery wings, the savage horns. It pulses with life. Such vibrant ether. This magnificent creature could only come from beyond the veil.
Indeed. Feast, my friends. Feast and arise as my 4 arch-fiends. As they are now, they can consume but a fraction of the dragon's ether. Just as well, the creature may yet serve other ends.
Yep, so Golbez has a Jediah.
Are you all right?
The Void Sense essence remains. But it has been sealed away, transformed into crystal.
Memoria. Scarmilione called them. I take it they are connected to the war of which you spoke.
Aye. Their use was central to the Contra Memoria, hence its name. And to my knowledge, the transformation is permanent.
I see. We thank you for coming to our aid.
I repaid a debt, and in doing so ensured that I received my own due compensation, which I shall have now.
Yes, yes. I still have work to do, so I would thank you not to get carried away.
Ether is the coin of choice. I appreciate the simplicity.
That makes us even, I trust. Right then. When you picked up the crystal, you experienced a vision, did you not?
A dragon resembling a great worm. I dare to hope that it was Ashdaya. Even as it pains me to think she's been made to suffer.
For the ambitions of this Golbez.
We've been given much to consider. Let us take a moment to review what we know.
Right. So what I might do is go as far as unlocking the trial. Yes, before voice in here. Clearly you didn't know they could regenerate. Else you would have shared that detail beforehand. I was in a bit of a rush and didn't have time to wait around and see. The older you devour, the more powerful you grow. In the process, your essence is blended with those of your prey. If you are delusional fresh, the souls you have come to harbor may break free and coalesce into distinct voids once more, and before you yourself return, your own soul might be devoured by your enemies or your erstwhile prey, a fate more likely for stronger beings who require more time to regenerate. However, even assuming you survive the process, it's highly uncommon that to return as you are. So his greatest strength skill the enemy managed to resurrect rather swiftly. The attachment to his flesh must have been unique for him to develop such an ability. You understand the fundamentals of rebirth now. Many wielded this power during the Contra Memoria, but I'm the only one left. How does one come to wield Memoria, and what happened to your peers? I never thought about that. I do know, though, that the Void Sync can't use the power. I assume it's because I'm mortal in part. I see. Name sounds vaguely familiar, though I can't say how I know it. He is powerful, however. Someone in the castle may have heard of him. Unfortunately, she should be able to maintain her composure better than a concerned sibling. Right. Gather information on the hydromatic terraces. Oh. Yes, I think at this rate I'm probably just gonna go as far as unlocking the trial, and 'cause I do have to actually go back to my island to sort stuff out, because when things went a bit awry on the Tuesday, I did actually log in, go to my island, collect all of my all of the stuff from the granary and all the stuff from the and pick up all the experience and the carries for all the stuff that was run through the workshop. I also updated the workshop schedule, and I actually sorted out all the animals and the field and the cropland. Yes, it only makes you speak to 3 of the original 4, because the one up there can't speak. Those are minions. Yes, minions. And those minions of minions. No one ever sees him. Right. Enter Troya Keep. Here's a learn auto value. So countless voice sent answers to the archfiends, who in turn answer the goalbeds, as your vision did suggest. This harmony only progression is only consistent with the claims that the archfiends conquer other domains. The question is, how do we reach Golbez if he surrounds himself with armies of minions? He could target his other archfiends, or perhaps those who have flowed his service. He even may yield useful information. That said, we can't do much while we're... diet. If there's even a faint possibility of Golbez, I must find him. That and... the current yes, that's on a request. Those are liars and betrayers. The less I request, the more I fret. If I refuse, you will force me to serve. Protection. I have no need of such. As a prisoner, yes, but only because I couldn't be bothered to resist. Could have easily broken free had I desired to do so. Truly such an aimless creature, then could do worse than to join us. You need to expend as much energy to defend yourself as you would alone. refugees in deserted places. I know the latter, I'll take you there. I assume you also know how to get off this isle. I was brought here on a mount. We could leave the same way. We have a spy eye in our midst. Speak with Zero on the hydromatic terraces. Yes, I think at the rate I'm going, I'm probably only going to be able to go as far as unlocking the trial, because that would mean that I could actually teleport out, and once I actually come in on Tuesday and queue in for the trial, I would just be able, it would just put me back in. It would actually just put me back here without the need to go back to actually faff about by going through Fafnir. We'll find them out here. The castle terrain, the creatures will be hungry. That's a little ether should suffice. Right, well, let us get out of here.
There it is. Good. It agrees to serve. Get on.
What is this place?
My domain. In the beginning, it was a sanctuary for me alone. But over time, others began to gather here. Those who had nowhere else to go.
A settlement of pariahs?
What's that? Mortals! They're mortals! What's enticing you here? I'm here from the
You are under my protection here and will not be harmed. I give you my word. Follow me.
It's not about yours won't come near, so you may be at ease. I don't know their place. If tantalizing ether were to walk by, I can't guarantee they wouldn't pounce. The voice sense nature consume their sole purpose, even if the ether may lead them to their undoing. Many succumb to instinct. Only you succumb here will have to answer to me. This is my domain's one and only rule, and it's absolute. Nowhere to run. Do yourselves duly warned. If you wish to go among the voices in here, that is your choice to make. All have fled from one master or another, but whether any of those masters in turn serve gold beds, I do not know. You must ask them yourselves. Most have travelled to your world, so it shouldn't be difficult to communicate. Right. Yeah, because there is a point in here. I call this my abode, but spend hardly any time here. I return only for meditation. While physical wounds can be healed by replenishing one's ether, you can't preserve your form if you lose sight of yourself. Such is the risk inherent in consuming another's soul. It dilutes your sense of self, alters you inside and out. To guard against this, I meditate, visualize who I am, in a place all my own. And I think that, yeah, there is only one other point of discussion. It's right near that statue. Empty-eyed voice then. Talk around with her like that. You're a minion then. You know I don't take minions. She has some questions and I want you to answer them. Golbez? I don't know that one. Only Satash. When she led us beyond the veil, I grew scared and fled. Right, because this is from the Mahak mission, from the Mahak quest line. Because she is, well, the one we fight, though we end up beating Diablo crap out of Diablos for taking Void Waifu. I've been here since. Don't know anyone else, nor do I wish to. That's all I can tell you. Satash was a powerful voice that ruled over a vast domain. That was a long time ago, so I doubt she has any connections to Golbez. Hang on. Yes, this. Oh, it's damage, but the move, it's actually Paladin's. I think it's Passage of Arms. Whose likeness is this, you ask? The hero will save the world. I'm waiting for the day he comes. Or was it a she? I can't remember the details. Don't know how long I've been waiting, or why I even wait. Could you be the hero, perhaps? No, I don't think so. Something tells me I'll know when I meet him, or her. I just have to keep waiting. Yes, when we speak to Zero, this is the heart of my domain. Normally it's deserted, but you and yours have drawn everyone out. I don't recall this statue, though. However it came to be here, I certainly didn't wish for it. So this was not here the last time Zero came to our domain. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to... Yeah. Vacuity. Golbers, I've heard the name before. Ah, I remember. Always speaking of a great crusade. Don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. You say, from whom did you hear this? Farfellow. He's a minion or another minion. Went on and on about the terrible things he saw. Perhaps Farfellow could tell us more. Amiable voice, and yeah, this guy is actually the one you fight in the second dungeon. I can't really remember what it is. What did you hear then? Ah yes, Golbez. He seeks strong minions to grow his army, so I hear. But recently he stopped doing that. Instead he devours all. Perhaps he's given enough fodder and is now intent on bolstering his own strength, but sure sign he's about to make a move. Yes, I think... Alright, clear. Yeah, it's Tantara. You actually see him. Right, so currently 0 to the designated location and then speak with her. Seems the rumors of Goldbreath reach even my remote domain. Fair to assume he's gathering strength for his crusade, whatever that may be. Well, I must say, I wouldn't have guessed that Farfellow once fought in Golbez's army. It's a miracle he survived serving an archfiend. I suppose I should explain. Farfellow is the weakest among us. Constantly in fear of being devoured, he seldom consorts with others. The only one is Surato. He's Ferg, who runs the instant he senses a friend and won't stop until he's exhausted. When the hunger grows too intense, they feed on each other's ether. Such is their relationship. Meanwhile, elsewhere...
Not only did the mortals conquer Troy, they defeated Scarmilione. I struggle to believe it. They're very small, my lords. They were aided by one of our world, who transformed Scarmilione's soul into crystal. Crystal? This one speaks of Memoria. Now there's something I've not heard for an age. It'll bring a pang of nostalgia to my breast and a tear to my eye. And the very notion wasn't absurd! It's drowned in darkness. As were we all.
And yet Scarmilione still does not answer. Were he alive, he would have returned by now. Weakest though he was, his ability to regenerate was without peer. If this account is true, if a Memoriat has survived, they cannot be suffered to live.
Leave this matter to me, Lord Golbez. I, Barbaricia, shall strike down any who pose a threat to our plans.
'Tis true, you are a proven commander, well suited to leading an assault.
And when I have succeeded, I would beg a boon of you.
What do you desire?
The dragon's ether. All that remains.
The Ensellers. Noble place.
With respect, my locks are free as the wind, without incentive to sway them. I know not whither they will blow.
Boldly spoken. I trust you will not disappoint me.
Upon this flowing hair and my immortal soul, I will not fail.
Then go and impress upon these interlopers the futility of defiance.
My lord.
Right. And speak to Zero. He's to the fringes of my domain. This way. Our fellow signing phase. Always sent here, don't answer to a master. They can do as they please. All must answer to the hunger and seek out prey when they need ether. Except Farfellow and Serato, that is. They are content to take from one another. Barring an incident, they dare not venture out. He takes fine, Serato, and that's... Yeah, and And here is Salatio. Salator. Or Ciliator. What do I do now? Oh yeah, this is rather unexpected. Where is Farfellow? Yes, that's right. No, that doesn't sound like him at all. Oh, well, he's gone. Alright, what more do you want? What do you say? And he's running! And off he flees, as he is wont to do. And something about this doesn't sit well with me. I don't think he was telling the truth. You think so too? And he says, Farfellow is gone, but that is quite unusual. There's the fact that who is clearly frightened by something, chose not to flee but instead hid here. Where Farfellow usually? No. Let's go after Strato now. Right. There we go. Serato, we need to talk. No time. The wind rises. We must flee. The wind rises? What is he talking about? After him. And now to sprint. What's gotten into you? What do you mean the wind rises? When the wind rises, she comes! Barbaricia! Barbaricia? Who in the world is that? We must flee, all of us! There is no time! I don't sense anything, but he seems convinced. There's a dead end beyond. We'll corner him. Unfortunately, all of my speed boosts are on cooldown. Yeah, because all of this is just a domain. All of that down there, and all of that beyond is not a part of the map. Oh. Yatoon, there's nowhere to run. What are you running from? I already told you, Mauritian, the Archfiend of Wind. You know, it is starting to get very windy. Archfiend, you say? Who be devoured or forced to serve to fight in the crusade, but it makes no difference in the end, all are eaten by her or her enemies. I don't want to fight anyone anymore, that's why I fled and came here. I see, that explains everything. Almost. I thought it was Farfellow who used to serve an Archfiend, not you. Not you, who always ran at the first sign of trouble. You know how... You who now speak as... Yeah, he devoured Farfellow. Indeed, that would account for his uncharacteristic behaviour. So, is that the way of it? Did you devour Farfellow? Yep. How did you know? It wasn't only your behaviour that felt strange. You felt strange, as if there was more than you present. No, I don't believe you were... All likely it was at Farfellow's behest. I can't hide anything from you. I admit it, Farfellow didn't leave, I ate him. He feared Barbariccia more than anything, hated the endless fighting, so he begged me to devour him, that he would never have to fight again. Rather than an eternity of fighting, he chose a moment of pain. For all the good it did, I can still hear his voice in my head. He's frightened, so very frightened. When you're eaten, your essence is blended with that of your devourer, and though you have no control, your consciousness in part endures. But it's a world where the wheel of life and death still turned, the soul wouldn't linger so stubbornly. In time, it will return to the great flow. But there is no such end here, no escape. All know this. In making his choice, Farfellow must have been desperate indeed. And now that desperation has joined with Serato's fear, driving him to act erratically. Oh. We don't want to be eaten, neither me or for... Here it is we face. Too late, she's as good as here, no one can escape her winds. No one! Yeah. Yeah, she is here.
Amaricia! She has come!
Hello?
And she's brought her domain with her. The Archfiend's after you and yours, I shouldn't doubt. Perhaps you should go and find them. But be warned, whatever this is about, Do not expect us to get involved.
I can't bear it! Eating and being eaten! I only want to be left in peace!
You and me both.
One of the archfiends approaches.
They must have been tracking our movements.
She's here.
Oh, how very, astute of you, Athenian.
Excellent. You've saved me the trouble of traveling to Troya.
So you're Barbaricia.
Mind your manners, mortal. My name is not to be spoken, save in reverence and fear. And what is this pitiful domain? Pitiful wretches all. I will put you out of your misery. Alas, poor Scarmiglione, and good riddance. Felled by outsiders in pursuit of what? Pray tell?
A dragon. One who crossed to this world thousands of years ago. Know you aught of it?
A dragon, you say? Huh. My Lord Golbez is more clever than I realized. To let the prize live, that it might lure more prey to us. Very well. In gratitude and service, I shall devour every last mote of their souls.
Where is she? Where is Ashdaya?
Huh. You even share its scent. How curious. And irresistible.
If you think us easy prey, you're wrong.
Unlike Scarmiglione, I need not skulk in shadow to claim what is mine. If you would know about the dragon you seek, then enter into my domain. You may flee instead if you wish, if the fate of the sorry lot here is of no concern to you. One way or another, I will have satisfaction.
What's the plan then?
We go after her! What do you think? We stand here twiddling our
Yet she will
thumbs
have
for
the
the
upper
next
hand in her domain.
eon?
We must be no less than fully prepared.
We find her and get our answers. Will you be joining us, Zero?
You may be easily goaded into accepting her challenge, but my curiosity is not so insatiable as to cloud my judgment. Nevertheless, if you are desperate for my aid, you know my price.
I shall pay it. So long as you leave me strength enough to see my sister home, you may take as much as you wish. And lest you forget, mine is no ordinary ether. Babaricia too recognized its potency.
Very well. We have a bargain.
Right. Now, time to get the end of the weather. Is anyone ready? Then let us step forth. The wind rises. And who's you when the time comes? Travel to Barbaricia's domain. And we just have one cutscene to do, and we should.
You're not the only ones who can ride the wind. Leave these ones to us.
I see to Barbaricia.
Storm's Crown now accessible. Because now I've actually got this done. Ow! I can actually go back to Moraby Dry Docks and tend my sanctuary. Right, let's go to my island. In gathering mode. Alright, so we're about halfway up to Sanctuary level 7. Oh. I think yeah, so complete, because I sorted out all of the works. Yeah, because we had the Pathfinder here. Yeah, and yeah, because we had the bathhouse over there, and yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up everything from the Explorer and the Alright, review status of foraging expeditions. Right. Right, so let's actually set up expeditions. So one's tomorrow. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Alright. There we go. Right, so we got 1,661 calories. Right, let's have a look at the workshop agenda, because we've only got one workshop. Okay. I'm actually gonna do this. So that'll be tomorrow, so that's Friday, Saturday. Yeah, I'm just gonna repeat the schedule. Then all I'll do is I'll just gather what I need. So that's tomorrow, that's Saturday, and right, and there we go. Hang on, how much would I need to build a... yeah, we're just short on palm leaves to build a second workshop. So I can actually equip that on my dancer. And now we're actually... Oh, I'll actually need to transport to a better sanctuary because I don't think I can... Oh, right, I can actually use kind of glamour plates here. Or use the glamour setting here. Right, let's update the set. Alright, now I've got to remember which plate. There it is. Right. Yeah, so I did craft some food. think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go on a harvesting run to get some. Okay, yes, you only need palm leaves. Right, first thing I need to actually do is check our allocations. Oh, we are 5 short on island sats, and that's normally from larger trees. Alright, do we actually need sap for the, oh, just sand. I think we actually still need sand for this. Oh, but only 4 required and we have 34 in inventory. Right, yep, we have crops to collect. So I think I actually put cabbage and potatoes in. Yeah, 5 island cabbages. So we should have 25 island cabbages. Sweet, do we actually... Ah! Right, so we actually need 2 palm leaves. So we will need to make sure we have sufficient to cover. Yep. Oh, we have island potatoes. And oh, that's right, I haven't fed the animals. Right, once I've done this, I'll go and quickly feed the animals. So let's go into sowing mode and let's do probably what I'll do is once we actually get the once we actually expand the croplands and the pasture and get the ability to automate things. What I'll probably do is I'll have the animals tended to because when I came here I just tended to everything. I didn't actually do any gathering, so we just need well, I think we'll actually need the 10 So I'll grab 10 palm leaves just to be sure, and we actually need island sap. I think we should be able to get it all from around here. Alright. Hit tree, get apples. Alright, so we need to do 10 of these trees to get palm leaves. So I'm only gonna do trees and stuff. Alright, we got a tree up here because I think these will only give us a branch and a log. It's the larger trees that give us the island sap. So I'm actually gonna have to get all this stuff to make sure I'm even with everything I need. Alright. So what I can do is right. Yeah, because these sort of like dead trees only give a branch and a log. I think it's these ones that give a branch and sap. Yes. Alright. Well, I mean, we only need to knock down 5 of these trees to be even on the amount of sap we need. Right, that's only an apple tree. I should probably use the island sprint. Alright, that was branch and log, because I think all of that is just... Right, that's only going to be a log and a branch. Flipping leg. Right, so first let's check this. Yep, we are actually 36 exactly. Right, that should give us another. It's always best to have more than to have less. Right, it's best to actually have more than to have the amount you need. Then you never know what you would actually put into production. Then you'll have to run around like headless chocobo. Right, that'll do it. Right, let's see. Vacant plot review. Right, we just need a few more trees. Well, a few more palm trees. To, I'll walk. Alright. Hang on, how many leaves do we need? 2 and we have 13 in inventory. Right, let's return to Home Sweet Hideaway. And let's finish off. Facility 4, logboard. Construct the facility, workshop 1. Yeah, and that is time of completion 10 PM today. Because I mean, getting the tenders to actually deal with the work will help. And since we now have the granary doing stuff for the next few days, let us Oh yeah, that's right. I actually forgot to pick up a fresh book. I should really have done that beforehand. So I'm gonna head to a dill share. Ow. Alright, Chloe. Hand over. And receive a new journal. Ah, what's in this one? 50, 70, 81, 89 and 90s. Void Art, Puppet's Bunker, Omega Sigmascape, Eland's Forest Umbra, Form March Extreme, Battle of Embers Extreme, Acropolis on the earlier gear and Excitotron, which is map dungeons. Asphodel the first circle. Rival Wings, Season Sacrifice Extreme, Crown of Immaculate Extreme, Minstrel's Ballad Ultimate Bane. Right, so what I'm going to do is head... I'm actually going to go back to Yulmore. Right, so I'm gonna send the fairy away and... Alright. To Zircon, and she has got to level 88. Right. So let us take our usual seat. And let's exit out and come on. Where is the... Yep, there we go. There's the handout. There's the there's 14 relinquishing control. Well, not being run anymore. Well, yep, that is going to be it for today. Well, actually, this time we should actually be streaming on Tuesday, where we will be completing patch 6.2 MSQ, because we are actually not too far away from completion. We've only got the trial to do and a few more quests. And then that'll be done. I think what I am actually going to do, because I'm going to have to go and have a look on one of my characters that does have Pandemonium unlocked, to see what the eye level of that gear is. I think it's either, because I'm not sure, because I don't think it's 610. I think it is actually I think it is actually the same item level as I think it's the same item level as the tome gear. Well, at least for the current tier. So I think I'm gonna have to get a new headset, because this is actually starting to decay a fraction. This is actually starting to decay, because crap on the cable. I'll probably just need to wipe that down, but one of the ear pads is starting to separate, and that is going to be a right pain in the ass if it does actually, if this actually comes away. So I think the first thing I'm going to have to do is look for a replacement for these, at least something that's USB and will actually work along with IQ, so I can just use my current my EQ settings. So it is going to be a right pain to actually get that sorted out. But yeah, the next scheduled stream is going to be on Tuesday starting anytime between 5 and 6 p.m. UK time, and you can probably see the the little smart device just chugging away in the background. Yeah. Yeah. So I will be back on Tuesday. I mean, Thursday. Today is Thursday, when we will actually be continuing on with the old patch 6.2 stuff. And I'm probably going to have to upload some of the stuff I still have on here to YouTube, so that I actually have sufficient space to download this stream, the highlight I will make for the dungeon run and all that. So yeah, I will catch you on Tuesday.